If Excel keeps turning your numbers into dates, you're not imagining it, and you're not doing anything wrong. This happens when Excel guesses the meaning of what you type or import, and it guesses based on patterns like 1, 2, 3, 4, or even long IDs that look date-like. The frustrating part is that once Excel converts it, your original value can be hard to recover. So the real goal is to stop the conversion before it happens, and to set up a workflow that stays stable across files, imports, and shared spreadsheets. In this video, you'll get a permanent, practical fix, not a one-time patch. We'll cover the best method for typing, pasting, and importing data, so Excel keeps it as text. We'll also handle common cases like CSV files, product codes, and international date formats. By the end, you'll know exactly which setting or step to use for each situation. Next step. First, let's make the problem predictable. Excel stores values with a type, like number, date, or text. A date in Excel is really a serial number with a date format on top. So when Excel helps, it's often converting your input into a date serial, then displaying it as a date. The trigger is pattern recognition. Anything with slashes or hyphens can look like a date. So can values like 310, which Excel may interpret as March 10th or October 3rd, depending on regional settings. Another common trigger is importing from a CSV. Excel tries to detect column types automatically, and it often picks date when it shouldn't. This is why the same file can behave differently on two computers. Different locale settings mean different date assumptions. Once you understand that Excel is guessing at the moment data enters the sheet, the solution becomes clear. Control the data type at entry. That's the permanent fix theme for everything we do next. Next step. Let's start with the simplest permanent habit. Pre-format the destination as text before you enter or paste. This works because Excel respects the cell's format when it decides how to interpret new input. So if you know a column as codes, IDs, or versions, format that entire column as text first. Then type, paste, or fill down. Excel will keep the characters exactly as given. This also preserves leading zeros, like 00123, which would otherwise collapse to 123. Now a quick nuance. Formatting as text must happen before the data arrives. If you format after pasting, Excel may have already converted the values. Also, if you double-click to edit an already converted cell and press Enter, Excel can reinterpret it. So treat text format as a protective barrier you set up in advance. For ongoing workbooks, this is one of the closest things to a set-it-and-forget-it fix. Next step. Next is a trick that's simple but powerful. Force text at entry with an apostrophe. If you type an apostrophe before the value, Excel stores the rest as text. So you can enter something like 1-2 or 03/04 and it stays exactly as characters. The apostrophe won't display in the cell, but it will show in the formula bar, and it will affect comparisons and sorting because the value is text, not a date. This is great for one-off entries, quick fixes, and small lists. The downside is scale. You don't want to manually add apostrophes to thousands of rows. Also, if you export later, some systems may keep the apostrophe behavior differently. So think of this as a tactical tool, not your main workflow. Still, it's one of the most reliable ways to stop Excel's auto-conversion when you're typing directly into a sheet and you need immediate control. Next step. Now let's talk about the most common pain point, opening a CSV and watching Excel destroy your data instantly. The permanent fix here is to stop double-click opening CSV files when you care about data types. Instead, import the file and explicitly set the column type. When you import, you can tell Excel, this column is text, and Excel will obey even if the values look like dates. This is especially important for part numbers, version strings, and codes like 2024-01 that Excel loves to convert. Another benefit is consistency. You can reuse the same import steps for the same kind of file, which reduces surprises. If your CSV comes from a system you don't control, importing is the safest approach. The key idea is simple. Don't let Excel guess. Make the decision once during import, and your data stays clean from the start. Next step. A closely related workflow is using the from text CSV import path, which is powered by Excel's query engine. The reason it's a permanent style fix is that it creates a repeatable pipeline. You import once, define the column data types, and then refresh whenever the source file updates. That means you're not refixing the same columns every time. During setup, you can change a column's type to text, so values like 1-2, 10-11, or 2023-07 don't become dates. You can also keep long numeric strings as text, so they don't lose precision. That matters for things like credit card-like tokens, tracking IDs, or very long identifiers. One caution: if you later change the type back to date, Excel will convert again. So lock in text where appropriate and document it as part of your workbook's logic. This approach is ideal for recurring reports and shared team files. Next step. Let's cover copy and paste, because this is where people get surprised. Even if your source looks fine, a normal paste can trigger conversion when the destination cells are general format. The safer approach is to paste into a pre-formatted text range, or use a paste option that keeps text. Another reliable method is to paste into a blank column that's already text. Then use that column as your clean source. If you're pasting from a web page or another system, hidden formatting can also influence Excel's interpretation. When accuracy matters, treat the destination format as your control point. Also, be careful with text to columns. It can fix problems, but it can also create them if the date option is chosen, or if Excel auto-detects. The principle stays the same. Decide the type explicitly. If you control the destination type, you control the outcome. Next step. What if Excel already converted your values into dates? You can often recover, but it depends on what you lost. If Excel turned 1-2 into a date, you can convert it back to a text pattern, but you need to know the intended meaning. The clean way is to create a helper column that outputs the desired text using a formula, then copy and paste values. For example, if you want a date displayed as a code like YYYYMM, you can format it that way. If the original was not a real date, but Excel guessed one, you may need to rebuild from the displayed date parts. The key is to stop editing the damaged column directly. Work in a new column so you can validate results row by row. Also remember, if the original had leading zeros, those are usually gone unless you had a text source. Recovery is possible, but prevention is faster and safer. Next step. A big reason this problem feels random is regional date settings. Excel interprets 0304 differently depending on whether your system expects month first or day first, so two people can open the same file and get different conversions. The permanent fix here is to avoid ambiguous formats in data exchange. If you're storing codes, keep them as text. If you're storing real dates, use an unambiguous standard like YYYMMDD and still consider importing with explicit types. For teams, it helps to standardize the workflow. CSV files are imported, not opened, and ID columns are text. If you share templates, pre-format those columns as text and label them clearly. This reduces the chance that someone's local settings silently change the meaning of the data. Excel isn't being malicious, it's just applying local assumptions. Your job is to remove ambiguity wherever possible. Next step. Let's talk about permanent fix in the real world. What should you do by default? Here's a practical rule set. If it's an identifier, a code, a version number, or anything with leading zeros, treat it as text from the start. If it's a real date you plan to calculate with, store it as a proper date, but control how it enters the sheet through import or validated entry. If data comes from outside Excel, prefer a repeatable import pipeline where you define column types once. If you must accept manual pasting, protect the destination range by pre-formatting it as text, and if needed, using data validation to restrict what can be entered. This isn't about fighting Excel, it's about telling Excel what the data is before Excel decides for you. When you adopt these defaults, the Excel changed my numbers problem mostly disappears from your workflow. Next step. Before we wrap up, here are a few quick edge cases to watch. Long numbers can be converted to scientific notation or lose digits, so storing them as text is often safer than number. Values like 2024-1 can become a date, but they can also become a subtraction expression in some contexts, so text protection matters. Another edge case is when you export back to CSV. If you export a column that contains real Excel dates, the output might be formatted differently than you expect, depending on your settings. If the receiving system expects a specific format, Generate that format as text in a separate column and export that instead. And finally, if you're collaborating, remember that someone else can paste over your text formatted cells with a different format. Templates and protected ranges can help, but the biggest win is a shared import and format standard everyone follows. Next step. So here's the permanent fix in one sentence. Control the data type at the moment the data enters Excel. Pre-format ID columns as text. Use the apostrophe for quick manual entries, and import CSVs with explicit column types instead of opening them directly. If something already converted, recover it in a helper column, then paste values to lock it in. And if you work with other people or multiple regions, avoid ambiguous formats and standardize the workflow so Excel has fewer chances to guess. If you want, I can also give you a simple checklist you can follow every time you bring data into a workbook. Now I'm curious. Do you run into this problem more with CSV imports or with copy-paste from other tools? A or B? If this walkthrough helped, subscribe for more practical Excel workflows that prevent errors before they happen. Small tweaks compound into massive performance gains. Subscribe to catch the next workflow optimization.